Listen up, guys. I've had it. If I had hands, I would flail them up in the air and just say, I'm done. I am done wearing the mask. About less than a week ago, Governor Tom Wolf of Pennsylvania has made a statewide mandate that we need to wear our masks at all times. Even if we just go outside to walk around the neighborhood now. It's not just, put the mask on when you go into say a grocery store or a bar or maybe some DMV or something. No. It's like the moment you get outside and get your mail or you mow your lawn or if you're just walking across the street or something, it's mandatory now, apparently. And how many times must we go over this? Mandates are not fucking laws! And here's another thing about this law thing. This idea was approved by Rachel Levine, this weird girl, guy, whatever the hell that thing is, who was a health secretary. This was under her omission. She, passed it on to him and gave the okay. And, who the hell gave her the authority to do that? She's not an elected official, and somehow she managed to, get over Wolf's head and make him do this. This is bullshit! Because here's my beef with these fucking masks. Okay, what's the difference between a doctor or a nurse wearing a mask and you and me wearing a mask? Well, let's take a look at the environment. Where do doctors mostly hang out? In their offices, whether it's their private office or connected to a hospital. What do these offices or buildings have? Climate control, air conditioning, and heating. They're basically inside that building all day long, and they have running AC when it's hot outside, so they're in a comfortable temperature where they're clearly okay. They're not going to sweat or anything. Meanwhile, we are out here in the summertime with temperatures reaching up in the 90s, humidity's going up, and that actually puts us more at risk health-wise than they think. Because fucking think about it. Not only are you sweating and it drips onto your mask while you're doing stuff, you're breathing into your mask and you're probably, as you're talking too, little spittles will come out of your mouth. That mask will collect all that. And you're basically going to breathe that in. You're saturating your mask with your sweat and spittle, and it's going to create a little bit of bacteria. And you breathe that in, and that's what's going to make you more sick. I work at an auto supply warehouse where there is no ventilation, no climate control, because the building is 60 plus years old. And when in the summertime, inside the building, it's 10 degrees hotter than it is outside. And you expect me to wear a mask all day long, walking around the warehouse, picking up heavy auto parts, collecting dust in my face as I put stuff down or pick them up. You really think I'm going to keep wearing that mask when that happens? Fuck no! Here's another thing about these masks. You realize that doctors and nurses, they rarely touch their faces with their mask when they're working. We do! We need to, whether it's adjusting it or maybe putting it down or up, we have to talk or maybe get a drink of water or something. Yeah, we touch our masks more than the doctors and nurses do. Therefore, we're actually contaminating our own masks and once again, putting our lives at risk. And all this fear because, the cases are going up. Yeah, they're fucking cases. Does that mean they're infected? No. The way I hear it, when someone says that they're going in for a case, it's usually that someone comes in and says, hey, I'm experiencing, these symptoms. I'm having trouble breathing, I'm coughing a lot, and usually, because of this pandemic, we connect that to that. So as we're checking out the patient, for some reason, they declare that as a case. That's like all these mass shootings that we hear about when they're clearly not mass shootings. When they're around schools. If there's a drug bust that goes wrong at 2:30 in the morning and there's a shootout there, they declare that as a mass shooting. This is bullshit. And most of those people that go in to get tested, they end up okay. What really fucking, aches me is hearing how people who already have terminal illnesses, maybe cancer or other illnesses that require, visiting the doctor and getting pills, prescriptions and whatever else you have to do, to actually physically go to a hospital, they're being told not to go So that way, we make room for the virus patients because, it's going to be astounding. The hospital will be overwhelmed, and we later find out that is bullshit. Why do you think that most fitness centers have, little to almost no enrollment? Because people don't want to wear their mask when they're working out. And for that reason, they're sweating, it falls in the masks, and they collect the bacteria from the sweat, and they're also breathing in it. They're breathing hard, spittle and everything. They don't want to do that. They don't want to deal with a saturated mask while they're working out. They're like, what's the fucking point? I thought the whole point of going to the gym was to be healthy. No, this will just make you even more sick. Now, all that aside, that's not why I'm so goddamn pissed off in the mask. I mean, don't get me wrong. Those do piss me off, putting my health at risk and all. It's that I'm just tired of being lied to. We have all been lied to. If you haven't noticed, you guys know Dr. Fauci, right? That famous doctor of the medicine or whatever, the government over there. If you recall back in March, he told us that we don't have to worry about wearing a mask. Because it's look, it's not that dangerous. You're not going to panic. You're not going to need it 24/7. Let's not, go crazy over this. And then for some reason, down the line, he changed his mind and says, you know what? Wearing a mask out in public may be a good idea. But here is the real reason on why back in March he told us to not worry about wearing a mask.
What about a month or so, or 2 or 3 ago, when people were saying, you don't really need to wear a mask? Well, the reason for that is that we were concerned, the public health community, and many people were saying this, were concerned that it was at a time when personal protective equipment, including the N95 masks and the surgical masks, were in very short supply. And we wanted to make sure that the people, namely the healthcare workers, who were brave enough to put themselves in harm's way to take care of people who were infected with the coronavirus and the danger of them getting infected, we did not want them to be without the equipment that they needed. So there was not enthusiasm about going out and everybody buying a mask or getting a mask. We were afraid that that would deter away from the people who really needed it. Now we have masks. We know that you don't need an N95 if you're a ordinary person in the street. We also know that simple cloth coverings that many people have can work as well as a mask in many cases. So right now, unequivocally, the recommendation is when you're out there, particularly if you're in a situation where there's active infection, keep the distance physically and wear a mask.
So there you go. Bottom line, Fauci fucking lied to us, and I can't stand that! I don't understand why he could not have said that instead of fucking lying to our faces saying it's no big deal. I could completely understand that it would be for the healthcare workers. I get that, because they do work with sick patients every fucking day. I would totally understand and accept it. You don't have to fucking lie to us like this, you old fart! So as I'm stumbling around trying to find all these different information, try to, get the sources to make this fucking rant, I stumbled across this really, I don't know, who the hell is this? KTLA 5, some news station. I don't know where the hell. I don't even bother looking it up. I'm assuming LA is Los Angeles, but what the fuck ever. I mean, these idiots on the news, just fucking watch.
Well, wearing a mask, of course, has become a heated debate across the country.
Stop faking it and get to the fucking point!
Oh, gosh. As businesses have started to open up, we have seen many videos go viral of people refusing to wear a mask where they're required. The top complaints for those refusing to wear a mask cite not being able to breathe while wearing a mask, or that they don't want to wear one because they're rebreathing their exhaled carbon dioxide.
Yes.
Who says that? Who's ever said that?
Hello, my name is Danica Bueno. I'm an RN with my BSN. I work on a cardiac unit, and I wanted to share some information with you. When you go out in public and you wear this at all hours of day that you're outside, you are doing your body a disservice. You are creating an acidotic state of your blood. You are creating a pH imbalance. It is crucial to health to have a balance of pH in your bloodstream at all times. Why would you want to disrupt that? You're not only breathing in your own bacteria, flora, the whole time because you're not getting fresh air, you're hurting your body by breathing in your own CO2 for long lengths of time.
Now, there's also the personal liberty argument that you've heard.
Sorry, or stinky breath. That one, yeah.
I don't doubt that. Oh, we're gonna. Okay, I thought. All right.
Of all the dim-witted journalists you have working on that goddamn news station.
This was all you came up with?
Well, after seeing posts like this, Dr. Megan Hall, a pediatrician in South Carolina, posted on her Facebook and said, "For those of you who really believe the virus is penetrating the mask and you're breathing it in, how do you also believe your exhaled CO2 is getting stuck?" And then everyone was like, "Oh, viruses need a vector to spread. COVID-19's vector is respiratory droplets. Those droplets aren't readily getting through a properly worn mask," she said.
And to prove her point against people complaining oxygen levels drop while wearing a mask, she conducted an experiment and posted pictures of herself on Facebook wearing no mask and 3 different masks for 5 minutes straight to see how they affected her heart rate and oxygen saturation levels. She also made note that immediately prior to the experiment, she had been wearing a surgical mask for 5 hours. The first picture of her with no mask shows her oxygen level at 98%, heart rate 64. The following pictures with different masks show her levels remain steady between 98 and 99, and her heart rate ranges between 64 and 69. There is no significant change in my oxygen saturation or heart rate in any scenario. Though maybe inconvenient for some, you can still breathe. That's what she said on Facebook. She concluded that post by saying, "As a physician, I urge you and ask you, please wear a mask to protect yourself and those who cannot safely wear a mask, like many of my patients who are under 2 years old."
I just say earlier about climate? She works in a goddamn doctor's office. She has AC running 24/7 and a comfortable temperature. She's not doing anything hard labor related. She's checking on kids. The shit that she's doing in there is completely different than what people are doing outside, in the heat, in the humidity, in areas where there's no air conditioning. What the fuck kind of research are you guys doing over there? Oh, I forgot, you don't do your research. Going to social media apparently counts now. Holy fuck! Of all the doctors that you pull out of your ass to, support this claim of yours.
This was all you came up with?
And this doctor's an idiot. Showing your blood pressure and your heart rate, that's not gonna work. Let me show you something else, something better.
I'm gonna test oxygen level under a mask using an OSHA-approved air quality monitor that tests for oxygen levels, hazardous gas levels, LEL, CO, NH3, H2S, stuff like that. This monitor is bump tested every day. It's calibrated every 30 days. OSHA requires 19.5% oxygen to work in a space. Look it up. Normal oxygen levels is anywhere from 20 to 21, right in that area. So I'm gonna do a little test here. I'm going to put the sampling tube at the corner of my mouth, and I'm not exerted, I'm just standing here. So we're going to put it right here. That's going straight to the air quality monitor. And we'll see what the oxygen level is. So I've got 20.5, okay, 20.6. That is the oxygen level without the mask. Now I'm going to set the camera down, put a mask on. Okay? Do the same test, hose in the same spot. you can hear the alarm going off. That means that there is a hazardous atmosphere. And we'll see what the levels are. 17.4. 17.5, it's starting to go back up. Okay. It's going to clear at 19.5. And that's what is required to work in a space. So, if you're wondering about headaches and stuff like that, there's why. Because you're not getting enough oxygen. If you're exerted, working, running, whatever the case may be, it's only going to get worse from there. So, you know, it is what it is. You're not going to see this on the news because they don't want you to know this on the news. So take it for what it's worth.
I feel like a lot of people who aren't wearing masks and are using this as an excuse are probably not going. Like, is anybody? Would they believe anything? Doesn't matter if you saw it with your own eyes. They probably still wouldn't believe it.
At this point, no. I don't know what to believe because I'm sick and tired of being lied to by these government officials that think they know everything when they clearly don't. And now this whole mask wearing thing it's a fucking joke now. Did you hear what happened over in Lincoln County, Oregon? Masks are now only white people are supposed to wear masks. All the other races, you're in the clear because they fear of heightened concerns of racial profiling and harassment. Oh my fucking God! And that right there is why I am saying I'm done. I can't stand wearing these masks. This whole lockdown bullshit thing, this was supposed to be a 2-week thing, and we're now already past 3 months. Probably going even longer. I can't stand it. I am fucking done. I'll catch you guys next time.
Hello, my name is Danica Bueno. I'm an RN with my BSN. I work on a cardiac unit and I wanted to share some information with you. So, when you come into the hospital and you have respiratory alkalosis, which can be caused by anxiety or from hyperventilating, the treatment is this. Breathing in your own CO2. Now, why is that important? Because when CO2 gets into your bloodstream, it converts into acid. And so if you have respiratory alkalosis from breathing off too much CO2, this can be life-threatening. And so breathing in your own CO2 can be the remedy for that. It can reestablish pH balance of your bloodstream and is critical to saving these patients. Now, I wanted to share with you what this means. When you go out in public and you wear this at all hours of day that you're outside, you are doing your body a disservice. You are creating an acidotic state of your blood. You are creating a pH imbalance. It is crucial to health to have a balance of pH in your bloodstream at all times. Why would you want to disrupt that? You're not only breathing in your own bacteria, flora, the whole time because you're not getting fresh air, you're hurting your body by breathing in your own CO2 for long lengths of time. I also want to share with you that this mask is highly, highly ineffective against viruses. Viruses are teeny tiny. And you may tell me, well, in my hospital, we wear an N95 mask. An N95 mask has to be fitted, first of all, and is supposed to protect you against TB. What is TB? It is a bacteria. There's a big difference between a bacteria and a virus, mainly in size. A bacteria is about 1,000 times bigger than a virus. So if you're telling me that I'm protecting myself when I go to the grocery store by wearing this, you're wrong. I'm actually making myself more prone to infection, one, by by making my body acidotic, and 2, when you have one of these on, you touch your face more often. Viruses live on surfaces. They're not alive until they enter the body. And so when you touch your face and your eyes continuously because you're adjusting the mask because you can't breathe, there's a problem with that. I want you to think about that. I want everyone to think about this. It's not common knowledge, apparently. You're doing your body a disservice if you think that wearing a mask 24/7 is protecting someone, because it's not. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this. I don't really care. I feel like it's time for people to stand up for what they know to be true, and I love science. I feel the human body is a miracle. Why are we working against it instead of for it? Tell me, why are we working against our immune system instead of for our immune system? Bump it up. Bump the immune system up. Stop trying to lower it down like we know better. We don't. The body knows far more than we ever will. And it can heal if you give it the tools to do it. I hope that sits in. If it doesn't go in line with your heart, feel free not to listen. I mean, it's all about listening to your heart now. It's all about doing what you know to be right. I have studied for a long time. I have found the body incredibly amazing the whole time I've studied, and I did a good job with my studies. I'm not someone that just flew by school with the seat of her pants. So hope this message hits home.